everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 50s Chicks podcast. I'm Annalie,
And I am Patricia.
and today we are going to talk about cougars. Yes. Not the animal cougars,
No.
the other kind of cougars.
Yes.
But before that, as always,
We will be we're gonna
self-care.
self-care first. Yes. We want to make sure, as always, that we are taking care of ourselves, that we are doing things that are meaningful, that
Well, maybe I think one of my biggest things was my expectations were so high going into online dating.
Yes.
And just kind of pulling back and being a little bit more realistic, because we might feel like we're 20 and 30 years old, but we're not that though.
No, we're not.
But so the things, I mean, it's changed is all.
Yeah.
So you just have to look at it like that. Just, because like I said, we might feel like 20 and 30, but the guys we're going to be dating are also not going to be 20 and 30, although they might also feel like they might be. So we got to just readjust those expectations a little bit, and that's going to make you feel better about things if you're not, if you don't have those kind of high expectations.
Expectations are so high, then you're just going to be disappointed.
Yes, I think that was a big deal for both of us. Yes. Definitely. It took a minute for me to realize it.
Right. Like, this is not that.
It's not.
It's
not
a
that
different
anymore.
terrain. And that is a very good point that Annalie was making. Yeah. Get your expectations rooted in reality.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a better time of it. And that, reinforces your self-care and
you just feel better about the whole thing. And of course, also, typically in our age group, we're not used to dating online. We were meeting people organically, or school, work, whatever it was. And now we're online. It changes the whole dynamic.
Yes.
And you run through a lot more dates, a lot more quickly, a lot more people swiping, and you're getting ghosted all of a sudden. So just getting used to the whole new process.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that, I think, right?
Yes, most definitely. That'll save you a whole lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Delving into the cougars. So this is based on a Reddit story that we came across that is titled Younger Men.
Ooh.
And it is in a Reddit called Dating Over 50. So we can safely say that this woman who's writing it is 50 plus.
Yeah.
She says, recently I met a younger man while out with friends, and he's been pursuing me, texting me regularly, and wanting to see me often. We kissed, but barely.
I don't understand what that is. Like a peck?
I don't know.
Okay.
We spend a lot of time talking about life and other topics other than accept dates with him, and finally allowing him to kiss me. I haven't been encouraging him. If anything, the opposite.
Not been encouraged.
Because she was approaching dating a younger guy suspiciously. He's winning me over, though. Oh. Then she goes on to refer us to a article in the Daily Mail that basically says, why midlife women really prefer to date younger men. Then she goes, anyone else find themselves in a similar position? ? I've got some hang-ups about the age difference, but as more and more men my age fall short in multiple areas, those hang-ups are disappearing.
Here's what I'll say about women that date younger men. Often it's when they have felt undesired for a really long time in a similar age relationship. What I mean by that is they may have been married or had kids with somebody, and that passion has gone and it's kind of disappeared. So what happens is that they seek a really young man to just feel desired again. And that's the same thing with men, but slightly more with women that do that, because it's not our nature to go for younger men. But once a woman's had her kids, she can almost act like a man when it comes to selecting a partner, and often that means choosing whoever makes her feel more desirable.
Thoughts?
Well, I think okay, it all depends on what her goal is.
Yes.
And how old did she say how old he was?
I think she goes on to say it later.
He's in his 30s, or how old is he?
See if I can.
Oh, but she didn't say it just now. Okay. No. Because I'm thinking number one, for me, it depends on his age. If he's in his 40s, you're still playing with fire, but it makes more sense than some little boy in his 20s or 30s.
I want to say, because I can't find it right at this moment, but I'm pretty sure that she was like 53 and he was 32, something of that nature.
So 20 years difference. Good 2 decades.
Yeah. So and this girl does not have children. So that might make it easier for her to make her mind right about it, because she's not like thinking, oh, this is my son's age.
Right. Yeah. I guess that does make it more palatable, I guess.
Yeah. And also, she does also say that she is aware that this relationship might have a expiration date.
Oh, she's saying might.
I know it. And also, I was taken aback when she said my boyfriend, because is he her boyfriend, or is that...
It could be a boyfriend for a short term.
But does he also have a girlfriend his age?
Probably.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. But my take on the whole cougar thing, is the reasons these young men are pursuing older women, it pretty much boils down to they want to have sex with no effort.
Yes.
Or they do want money, just like the girls do with the OMF.
Yes. And I mean, it's a known thing that younger guys do try to approach older women, giving them compliments, paying them all kinds of attention.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you look so much younger, and blue. And then they end up with some easy sex.
Yes, because that's the reasons that they seek older women, because, and I believe this, that young people are not naturally attracted to older people.
Yeah, not
it's
really.
just
that's
just a natural thing,
Yeah.
So
this person says, I avoid men who date much younger women, and I don't date much younger for myself for the sake of coherence.
Yeah. Even though those dynamics are different, they are.
Yes.
But still, especially women that have sons that age, it's just icky, it's just not good decision making. I'm going to just throw that out there as my opinion.
To the credit of a lot of these older women who are dating these younger boys, they look really the heck good. Okay, like real talk. These women are giving 25. Like 30 isn't 30ing like it used to 30. 40 is 40ing like 25. Okay, like call it modern medicine, call it juicing, better sleep, self-care, soft life, whatever it is. These women are giving young, and I can understand why these boys intellectually can't separate the fact that what they're seeing physically in front of them is not matching up with what we know to be the case as a 40-year-old woman. But again, the responsibility lies with us. Even if that person doesn't have the intent intent to be manipulative. It doesn't change the fact that they have the power dynamic where in any case, financially, in an argument, in making decisions, they are able to have the upper hand because their brain can do things that the younger one cannot. And that is why it's a problem.
This man writes that every woman I've dated have had a younger man face, so it seems pretty normal, though not necessarily long term. It's just for a bit of fun. Then you really have nothing to. If it's just for a bit of fun, then you really have nothing to worry about. Enjoy it. Longer term, I don't know if it works out. I'm sure there's plenty of women on here that will tell you that they've been together for years, but I've met plenty of women that have come out the other side where the younger guy moved on. Which I think
First
is
of
the more
all-
likely because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're 20, 30 years difference, the age gap is going to get more and
Yes.
more and more obvious. Once the other partner runs into 60s, 70s,
No one's getting that far.
it's a lot. Yeah,
They're not even getting that far.
probably
If
not.
they were in their 50s when they met.
Yeah.
And also these young guys, these young men, they want to have kids. I don't know why this is something that people are so oblivious to. They want to have kids. An older woman in her 50s and 60s are not going to be giving birth to any kids. So it just seems unreasonable just based off that alone, if they're talking about something long-term and meaningful, like getting married or some such thing like that. And I want to speak to that guy who was saying all these women, I don't, and I'm a woman and I don't know a lot of women that have had those kinds of encounters. So the chances that he actually had those.
Is it in count? Because I know we've both been pursued by younger men, but we didn't act upon it.
But he's trying to act like all these women had, I'm assuming he's saying relationships. He was meaning relationships.
I think so, yes.
So.
Which, I don't know about
he said a phase.
See, if anything, I don't think he's right about that. I think that there are times when you get pursued by younger
but
men,
it's not,
and you might be talking about it to your friends and such. So maybe he would know of it.
Yes, okay, that's
but
probably
I don't know that we can.
Yeah, because he really did say a phase, so that could be just they're telling him, "Oh yeah, this young guy was coming after me."
Yes.
And blah blah blah. Yeah, he could be saying that.
Let's see. Dating much younger men would make me feel like I was dating my son's friends. No thanks.
Yes.
She does say 5 years younger. Sure.
Well, yes, of course, because
that's not even a.
But still, even with that, I would still. Now that's just me, obviously. I would still kind of be hesitant. Like if they're in their 40s. And you're in your 50s, I still think it's playing with fire, but it's nowhere near like if they're in their 20s and 30s. To me, that's acceptable. In the 40s, it's acceptable.
So I had to scroll through my DMs, and I've been getting this question a lot. What do I think about a situation of an older woman dating a younger guy? Now here is my very transparent and honest response to this. Depending on the age gap, if you are a woman and you are in your late 20s, you're dating a guy maybe in his early 20s or mid 20s, that's totally okay. I can totally see how something like that would actually work out. However, if you are in your 40s or you're in your late 30s and you're going for a guy in his 20s, it's so unrelatable at that point that the guy's not going to take that relationship serious. In fact, that whole situation is just going to be something that he is going to share with his buddies and he's going to just laugh about it. He's going to laugh about it because he's going to think he's the man because he's dating a cougar, and then his friends are going to think he's an absolute legend because he's dating this much older woman. That's just my honest opinion. Maybe in some circumstances it could work, but I don't know. Personally, I've never seen it happen. Use this information as you wish and have an awesome day.
Poster says that I felt like you until fairly recently, and I'm still a bit uncomfortable. I was willing to go 5 years younger, so a bit more than you. I met men in their 50s and early 60s. I'll go up 10 years older, but so many of them aren't active and they eat poorly. I want someone I can have fun with now and in the future, not someone who wants to stay home all the time and thinks courting me is having me pick up takeout on the way to their house. These young guys put out effort.
Okay, when she's saying effort, first of all, the young guys are eating poorly too, so stop. They're eating poorly.
Maybe more poorly.
I know they're eating
It just
poorly.
they just have better metabolism still.
Right.
We all know how that works.
Right, but they're eating poorly too, so it's not about the eating poorly. And yeah, older guys, 60s, whatever, they're not going to be as active normally. There are some that are, but normally they're not. If that is a prerequisite.
Somebody actually said, interesting. I didn't realize that young men don't eat poorly.
Oh, yeah. See? Definitely they're eating poorly. Good gracious.
Yes. But yeah, and this kind of, it boils down to this. If you're looking for a life partner,
right, it's not.
You're looking for someone in your age range.
Yeah.
I would say 10 years up and down.
Yes.
Max.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah. That would be more reasonable.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
But just be aware, if you do choose to go into a relationship with a younger man, be cautious of your feelings.
Yeah.
Because if you do get attached, you are most probably at some point or another, maybe not immediately, but you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
Because there's just no longevity in that type of arrangement. And I know there's people that, in my situation, okay, whatever. But it just doesn't make sense if you're trying to protect, your emotions, your feelings, and be good to yourself. It just doesn't make sense.
And if you're wanting a long-term partner, because so say that you're like, she's 53, you're wasting a few years with this young guy. He takes off when you hit 60 or sooner.
50.
Now you're 60 and you're looking at even lower, like even smaller group of acceptable men for you. So you actually, if it is a life partner you're looking for, it's definitely not a good idea. Yeah, and that's just my thought.
Yeah, and also, just like with the OMS men, there really isn't. You don't have anything in common. I just can't even imagine, beyond being human beings, what you can have in common, what you can share as far as, references and all those things. It's just, I don't know. You just setting yourself up.
think the only thing you might have some references just because he grew up with the kid shows.
Yes, your kids
children grew up with, and that you were forced to watch. Because you were making food.
That's a good point, though. Yes, you will know the kid shows because your child watched the same kid
SpongeBob.
shows. Yes, and the Lion King, all those. Yeah, you will definitely. That's a good point. You will know that, but anything else, I just find it hard to believe. And even with, and I know I saw an article where somebody a comment on one of our videos where they were saying that because the pool is so shallow that people are going younger for that reason. But there's other things you can compromise on before you start going younger. Age. There's other things, height, weight, body type, there's so many things. So that can't be an excuse, for doing that. But, if that's what you want to do, just make sure you know what you're doing. That's the moral to this story.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think in the comments. We want to hear about it.
Yes, we do.
We are on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Yes. And make sure you subscribe.
We want to get to 500.
Yes, we do. We want to get to 500. And thank you to everybody that has already subscribed.
We appreciate you.
We do. And all the old heads that are commenting. I see the comments and we respond to all of our comments. We do. And we appreciate it.
And until next time, don't forget to live,
laugh,
and connect. We got it? Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot my gloves.
Yeah, there it is. Bye, everyone.